What's up guys, welcome back to InvestingPH. It's again the end of the month, so it's another portfolio reveal day. Now before we start, I would really like to thank you guys for supporting my channel. It has been 5 months now, and this channel has grown quite a bit. Really, thank you for the support. Looking back at my first video, wherein my portfolio is only in the 750,000 mark, it really makes me happy to see it's almost close to reaching my first million. Although stock still hasn't quite recovered yet, and it's mostly my invested money, still, that's an achievement for me. Anyway, moving on to what this video is about. We will talk about what are the events that happened during this month that affected my stocks, how my portfolio did, and the stocks I bought this month. So let's start. Again, please do me the favor of hitting that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, now is the time to hit that subscribe button. Now for those of you who are new to my channel, I do this monthly portfolio reveal to let new investors see what transpires in the monthly life of an investor. And with showing my investments, maybe some of you can learn from what I am doing or from the mistakes I have made and add it to your own strategy. Also, to have an overview that the stock market isn't just an uptrend, it has its cycles along the way. It's learning from other people's experience. My videos also acts like a diary for me, so that one day whenever I reach my goals, I have something to look back to. So I use Phil Stocks for my broker. Now some have asked me what brokers to use. For me, brokers aren't much of a deal, as long as they are legit and the fees aren't high. Although almost every broker here I think has the same fees. Also, the transfer of money isn't hard for you, like withdrawing and depositing to your account is easy. So that's all the criteria for me. This is for a long-term investor standpoint, okay? If you are a trader, well, that's a different story. Going back, so the total money I've invested so far is 946,100, and my portfolio right now has an overall value of 995,698. So a little bit short to that 1 million milestone. So the one they are showing here is the total percentage return with the dividends reinvested. Just comparing it to my total invested money, my total returns is now 5.94%. Now the sudden rise in my portfolio is because of some stocks recovering a little bit, and of course Globe, which had the sudden spike. Most of you may think, shouldn't I sell it now? My returns are now almost 50%. So I won't sell it now since Globe still hasn't yet reached my intrinsic value computation. And of course, one of my main goal for Globe is holding them for a long time because of their dividends. With the price I paid for it, I get to have 5.8% dividends per year from them. And for me, Globe still has a lot of growth ahead of them. With the rising use of digital wallets and the demand for internet, with that, their business still has a lot of room for growth. Now some may say if that falls down, you miss the chance to sell it at a higher price. Well, I won't be sad about it. It's a great company that gives out huge amount of dividends. If it falls back to that level again, I would buy even more if that happens. But for now, it's just a hold for me, gaining both capital gains and a large amount of dividends along the years. A lot of events influence my portfolio, which is again the fear of investors due to the rising COVID cases in our country, and of course the second half financial reports of the companies. Well, of course, a lot of companies have decreased earnings since our country is still in a tight lockdown, which extended over and over again. Although some companies have recovered their earnings compared to their last year's first half, and investors has now seen the importance of the prospering telecommunications company, which had been trading at a low price since the start of the pandemic. Foreign investors also added with the rise of the PSEI. Again, somewhat a mixture of fear and optimism in the market, with some companies' earnings recovering and the rising COVID cases. Moving on to my dividends, so there's a bit of addition to it from last month, with AC giving out small amounts, and for Globe, I already added it here, since they will be paying their dividends this September 3. Now what I'm putting here is already after taxes, okay? I've deducted the 10% tax for dividends. With that, I now have a total of 24,927 dividends this year, totaling 33,807 worth of dividends ever since I started investing. Now, every single penny of dividends I get is reinvested back to whichever stock I am buying. So just imagine this one. This 33.8 thousand is already earning for me more dividends this year, and of course, the next year as well. And there are still more to come this year. Globe would still pay out another round, I think, since they pay 4 times a year. Double Dragon REIT has now announced their dividends, and I think more will come. So this will again earn me dividends next year. a lot of investors underestimate the power of dividends. They think it's so small, how can that bring you any good returns? Well, it may look small now, but just wait until it compounds throughout the years. I tell you, if you are in it for the long run, one day your dividends will be even bigger than the one you can invest monthly. Just look at this example. Let's say I will be ending with 35,000 overall dividends this year. Next year, it may go up to over 80,000 overall. And the next year after that, it's already 140k overall. That will earn more dividends again and again for me, compounding at its finest. Just imagine this one. Warren Buffett's yield for Coke, you know how big it is? At 50% plus per year. So how did that happen? Since Coke had been increasing its dividends ever since and Warren Buffett just held on for a long time, the dividends he got kept on compounding and compounding, which he then on reinvested to other companies. Plus that dividend increase, you know the total money Warren Buffett put into buying Coke shares was only $1.29 billion. And now he gets $672 million a year worth of dividends. Imagine 50% dividend yield every year. And a lot say dividends aren't powerful. And there's a lot more I can tell you about dividends, but that's for another video. Anyway, don't underestimate those small dividends now. It will compound later on and give you worthwhile returns. Reinvest it. Moving on, the stocks I bought this month are... Actually, it's only the stock I bought this month since it's only one company, which is LTG. So why LTG? Well, why not LTG? Its price is way below my buy below price for it. And besides, its massive dividend yield for its price right now. It's a great company. Well, I know most of you have already heard the news that its earnings went down hard this first half. Well, for me, that's not surprising. Of course, their earnings would decrease this pandemic. Their bank holding is what pulled them down. But their other products are still prospering even in this pandemic. And I can imagine when things get back to normal, their business as well will again recover. Maybe not that quickly, but still I believe they will recover. What better way to buy a great company than the time people are selling it? So this is my point of view. To summarize things up, it's a great company, its price is really attractive right now, and my goodness, the dividend yield I would get for the price I am paying right now is really big. Again, just want to remind you guys, this is my own thoughts, okay? Please don't just copy what I'm investing in. Do your own research for the company. Oh, and I forgot to mention last month, I sold my BPI shares for 85 peso a share since it was really a small portion of my portfolio, which was I think only 0.8%, and it has almost reached my computed intrinsic value for it. And I have another company that is really cheap right now, so I reinvested that to it. So I bought it last year of April at 61.70 per share, and I got 2 years worth of dividends from it since I got one last year and this year. With that, I got an overall return of 44% with the dividends. Now I sold it since it was really a small portion, and I never got the chance to buy it again since its price really went up fast after that. And again, another company has a really attractive price for me right now. With that, these are all my holdings as of this moment. So my LTG holding is now growing, and there are some that have stayed in the 1% mark, like Pure Gold, which I didn't even had the chance to invest a lot to it since the price skyrocketed up just a week after I bought it. Now for AUB, it's now gone back to my buy below price. Let's see if I can buy more of it since again, I'm focusing my attention now to LTG. My SEB stock, which was really rocked hard, isn't my priority now since I think its price would stay like that for quite some time, though I am still planning to invest in it if I don't have any stocks to buy anymore in my watch list. So it's not my priority now. Again, I believe in SEB since they are the strongest in terms of financials and moat in the airline business in our country. Anyway, I have a video for that, link in the description below. For my index fund right here, that's in my VUL. Now I don't include that in my total invested money. So what I'm showing you guys is only the money I invest in my brokerage account. I just add that in my graph since it's still a stock investment. So with my constant buying of LTG, my holding sector has now taken the largest part of my portfolio. Although REITs and real estate share the same business, it's still real estate. I just want to divide those two to make things more clear. So I think real estate still holds the largest if you add my REITs investment to it. Now, in comparison with the PSE index, right now my portfolio is at the positive zone at 5.24%, while the PSE index is still in the negative zone, which is negative 16.93% from its point in July of 2019, which is the date I started investing. But then again, if we compare it to last year, the PSE index has a year-to-year return of 10.93%. This is from August of last year, and my portfolio has a return of 26.69% from the same time frame. So not bad. Now, I didn't expect to have a higher returns compared to the index at the same time since I'm buying those companies that people are selling. My expectation really was I would underperform the index in my first 5 years of investing. Let's see if this goes on. Still, I am happy to see these results. So I think that's about it for this monthly portfolio reveal. Now, the same as always, I would still continue what I do, buying great companies at a cheap price, especially those companies that pay out high dividends. Since my main strategy is dividend value investing in the first place, really love to buy those companies that give out high dividend yields at which I can hold for a very long time. So you may question my ways. Again, I'm not forcing anyone at all to follow my strategy in the first place. I'm not even selling anything here. Everyone has different strategies of their own. Heck, I'm not even bashing trading at all, since there's still a handful of people who succeeded in trading. So as in the crypto market and in the forex, we have different styles. Some strategies may work for you, but won't work for others. So just go do your thing and I will do mine. With that said, I will share to you a short words of wisdom from the father of value investing, Benjamin Graham, the teacher of Warren Buffett. The individual investor should act consistently as an investor and not as a speculator. So no matter what strategy you are using, please don't just listen to what other people say to you and what the news is telling you. Do your part, do your research, don't just rely on pure speculation. Doing your part would really help out in preventing you from making irrational decisions later on in your investing career. With that, I hope you liked the video. So if you haven't clicked that like button yet, please would really appreciate it if you do so, and do support my channel by also clicking the subscribe button. This way we can reach a lot of people who are willing to take part in the stock market. So thank you and see you in the next video.